Sometimes things appear where they don't belong, leaving behind more questions than answers. These moments aren't always accidents. They're part of something bigger, shaped by hidden motives and bold ambitions. It's in these cracks where everything unfolds. So, welcome back to the lore of Valorant. Alright, so before we get into it, I just want to let you know, just join our Discord server from the link in the description, okay? I would love to see you out there, and let's hang out. Anyways, so last time we talked about how Chamber had the blueprints to the destroyed portal in Fracture, and how Brimstone was trapped in a weird place, somewhat like a triangle, like a cone or some shit. In this episode, we might understand how and why all of that happened. But before that, I'd like to introduce another plot that has been going on in the Valorant-verse simultaneously while all of this mess was going on. In short, Breeze. Well, yes, the map and game. I mean, if you remember that I mentioned earlier about the existence of a multiverse along with the mirrorverse, well, apparently, the multiverse plays a huge role in here. If you have ever noticed, on Site A, in Breeze, there's a huge ship that's crashed into the site. And on top of that ship, there's a broken teleporter. Well, wait, hold on. Why on earth is a teleporter even standing on a map like Breeze? It's literally just a tropical island. Well, I mean, if you remember what I said earlier, that Chamber is apparently friends with his mirror double, or more precisely, in a contract with him. But of course, he wouldn't be able to make a contract with his mirror double without meeting him in person, right? What do you expect? Wi-Fi through outer space? So obviously, Chamber seems to know a lot about this portal somehow.
Be careful near the ship. That portal does not work as intended. Such a bad investment.
I mean, coincidence? But we do get some hints that Chamber was somehow related to this person, this one significant person called Thurston Wolf. Remember his name? He's a really important dude in the lore. Just remember it for now. Well now, oh dear, who's this new character called Thurston Wolf? An agent? We've never heard of him. Well, actually, no. He's just the owner of a radianite mining company. And he is filthy rich. And by filthy, I mean filthy rich. I mean, look at this mansion that's a bit far away from the map. You think some mediocre dude can have this mansion like this huge? Wait, did I just violate myself? But anyways, oh, wait. So the mansion seems to be violated as well? It looks somewhat like a lightning strike, huh? Well, that's depicted through some of the murals near the B main as well, where we can see a depiction of the Wolf Mansion, I mean, Thurston Wolf's mansion, it's called Wolf Mansion, being struck by a lightning? Could be. So basically, he's the owner of a radianite mining company, which we have no idea what the name is. It's not revealed yet. Which was working with Kingdom Corporation to supply them with radianite. Well, of course, the Kingdom comes in. Because we can literally see lots of cargo ships with the Kingdom's logo on them. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. The biggest one, however, the KNG Meridian, was connected to a radianite pump with long tubes of liquid radianite running through them. The Meridian was a huge cargo ship made by the Kingdom, probably to transport radianite and other goods. The Meridian this time though, crash-landed on the island, which was carrying a teleporter in it. Coincidentally? I don't know. Now, why was there a teleporter in the f***ing cargo ship, and why the hell did it crash-land this one time? I mean, we don't know. Well, apparently, Thurston Wolf, the dude I asked you to remember the name of, had a plan to install the teleporter somewhere in the island. It's shown on his mind map, apparently. And somehow Chamber was the one who built it, or perhaps invested in the building of the portal. Because on his player card, we can clearly see Chamber shaking hands with someone who is not a person we know. It's not an agent in the game, not someone we know, so it's probably Thurston Wolf. And the fact that the card is named Joint Venture just double checks the fact. Now, we know the portal doesn't work as intended, but we do know of the portal working, or at least once. Listen up to what I'm about to say, okay? If you paid enough attention during the update 2.09 for Valorant back in May 2021, this sign under the teleporter turned on with a text written on it that read, quote-unquote, sequence initiated. In the next update, the text changed to, quote-unquote, target locked. And the teleporter turned on, and in update 2.11, the sign changed to, quote-unquote, arrival imminent. And there was a knife which came flying out of the teleporter and embedded itself to the Radianite crate nearby. Then in update 3.0, the sign read, quote-unquote, portal's breach, with someone popping up in the sign. Guess who it was? Drumroll please! Yes, it was Kayo, who came through the teleporter, and the knife was taken out of the crate, but it left a mark on it. You can still see the mark now. And it's definitely Kayo's knife because no other melee in the game, no other knife or any skin that has the same mark as Kayo's knife. Now the question is, why on earth is Kayo coming in through a goddamn teleporter? Well, this is a whole different arc in the lore of Valorant. So, since we know that the teleporter doesn't work as intended, instead of being connected to the mirrorverse, it somehow got connected to the multiverse. In a different timeline, approximately at least 200 years in the future, where the world is on the brink of devastation. Oh wow, what a great news. A timeline that's 200 years in the future and the brink of devastation. Oh yeah, that's such a great news, bruh. Alright, now let's talk a little about the backstory of Kayo and this timeline. In his timeline that he comes from, a devastating war was going on called the Radiant Wars. It was basically a war between the humans and the Radiants, which took a huge toll on the planet. Well, the most probable reason for the outbreak of the war, it's still unknown, but it's probably because of some Radiants didn't think that they're equal to humans and thought that they were superior than humans. One of the other reasons that could be possible is probably because the public perceived the Radiants to be dangerous, but the real reason of the outbreak of the war is, just as I said, still unknown. This is all just a perception. But what we can probably be sure of is that the Radiants were led by Reyna and the humans were led by Brimstone. The few other agents we know involved in the Radiant Wars were Sova, Sage, Phoenix, Jet, Sky, and Astra. Also, in Kayo's trailer, we can clearly see the headline say, Paris has fallen, the war is raging. How much time does the world have left? And most importantly, after centuries of its rise, Venice falls. This may be making a reference to the Venice incident where a part of Venice rose into the sky due to a spike detonating, and, of course, planet in ruin, total annihilation. Oh boy. Well, times were so bad, the planet was in complete rubbles. It's speculated that even the Kingdom Corporation was in ruins and fell as well. The mighty Kingdom Corporation on its knees? Alright. Now, who made Kayo? As we know, he's a humanoid robot, so someone had to make him, right? Well, it was thanks to Kingdom Corporation's anti-yield program. The only information we have about this program is in Fade's dossier to Kayo, where Fade asks Kayo how he exists because the anti-yield program was nothing more than a rejected proposal. So technically, he shouldn't exist at all, but he is here, fighting alongside them. This anti-yield program could also be one of the reasons contributing to the rise of Radiants against humans, due to the instinct of protecting themselves as any other human being or living being. Because the Radiants probably assumed that the kingdom had developed a weapon to kill Radiants, which made them feel threatened. But once again, this is just a speculation, none of this is confirmed. Mind it, Fade at the time had no idea about the existence of an alternate reality, or a different timeline. And that's probably what confused her, especially in the dossier. I'm gonna put the dossier on the screen. You can pause the video to read it if you want to. Apparently, Kayo had a good friendship with Sova, and they fought alongside as well.
Side by side again, Sova. Let's get lethal.
Sage is a medic in our world, but Kayo refers to Sage as nothing more than a weapon in the alternate timeline, more like a battle sage.
It is strange, Sage. Where I'm from, you're no medic, only a weapon. Sage, healer. What an understatement.
For Sky, Kayo warns about how dangerous she can turn out in the future.
I've seen what the enemy Sky becomes. Deal with her now. Trust me.
And like Astra is a guardian of the galaxy, Kayo says she destroys the worlds.
Their Astra doesn't protect reality. She destroys worlds. I would know.
Another speculation about Astra is that Kayo probably killed Astra himself, or perhaps saw someone do it. We can perceive that from this voice line.
An enemy Astra. Powerful, but killable.
For Jet, the only reference we get about her being involved in the Radiant War is from this card, where we can see one of Jet's kunais on the ground. And as far as we know, Kayo and Brimstone were really good friends, perhaps even best friends. But unfortunately, Brimstone was killed in his timeline by Empress Reina. Kayo wears Brimstone's dog tag, which is a bullet hole that depicts that Brimstone was probably shot in his upper chest, which probably killed him. And Kayo was designed in such a way that he had emotions and feelings too. And the way it works for him is that those memories get stored in his memory as logs, fresh as if everything had happened just hours ago. Listen to this.
Brimstone, I apologize for the references I keep making. You never know what I'm talking about. Even after all these months, I keep thinking that we share these memories, experiences, but we don't. None of that was you. It was him. And he's gone. My memory logs don't fade with time. They're always fresh, always there. It's harder to distinguish past from present. I'll partition my archival system to ungroup your files. Maybe that will help. Thank you for understanding. And for everything else.
Kayo, after receiving a huge blow, decided to find out Reina's whereabouts and end her himself. After what has Reina done to Brimstone, eventually Kayo finds Reina and he wins. The war comes to an end, and the humans and Radiants start living in peace. But the Earth was devastated and left in ruins. So he decided to travel to a different timeline in the past to try and fix things so the same thing doesn't happen again. And guess where he landed? Yes, exactly. Here in our world, in Breeze. A question that might strike up in our heads is that if the Radiant Wars took place centuries apart in the alternate timelines, how is Brimstone and Sova still alive? They're just mere humans. Humans can't live that long. Well, we don't exactly have an answer to it, but what we can assume is that humanity advanced in medicine so much with the help of Radianite that they were able to make the average lifespan of a human go up by a significant amount. And by significant amount, I mean centuries, or could be even millennials, I don't know. Once again, these are just speculations, and none of this is officially confirmed. Back to our map Breeze. Now, as we saw earlier, that Brimstone was locked somewhere, perhaps a conical structure, which held him in Chambers' agent trailer. So, there's a huge possibility that Brimstone got sent to Breeze, and he decided to jump into the teleporter that we see on the Meridian, which he found, and that's probably what got him trapped in the structure. Because as we can see later in the trailer, that's a different dimension, not the ones we see around. And another reason that leads me to my theory is because the Omega Chamber just jumped into the dimension casually through a goddamn door, like he's walking from his bedroom to his washroom. So it's probably a dimensional space that's different from our regular dimensions, similar to Yoru's ultimate that is connected by the portal in the breeze. We still don't know why Thurston Wolf needs the portal, but we all know that Chamber needed money. Once again, what does Thurston Wolf have? Money. That's pretty much the lore of Breeze. But what about the Omega project that was going on simultaneously in the Valorant verse? How much did it proceed? And did they succeed in making a portal and powering it up? What are the protocol's plans? It's getting more and more complicated, so we'd stop here today for now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for future episodes, and if you liked my explanation, just make sure you like this video, and once again, join the Discord, link in the description. See y'all around. Have a great day, y'all. Signing off.
I'm an agent, people may say peasant.